wherever you guys are, if you could start wrapping up your assessment, you can skip to the end and just kind of submit. I know it doesn't feel right if you have empty answers. I know. Just let it go. I had to let go of it too. I know. There's tortoises. Okay. So I'd like to show you a couple other things here. We have about 10 minutes until lunch. So I'm going to show you two quick things, and then until lunch you guys will have some time to play around with creating assessments and things like that. After lunch, when we return, Matt's going to take a look at from the teacher end, what does it look like to grade all these assignments and assessments? So he'll take a look at that to do, right? There's a lot to do there. So he'll take a look at that. I wanted to mention a couple things. We were building everything in resources today, and we noticed that some of the options when we made an assignment weren't available. I do want to know, once you add resources here, this little gear icon, again, is another opportunity for you to unpublish. And those same options populate here with the gear option. You can edit it, open it up, any assignment or any folder there, okay? And again, this is also the place where you're going to save to resources. So let's say that I'm building all of my folders and I'm building my curriculum in the class itself, in my course, and I want to take it to resources. Click the gear icon and I save to resources, and it pops it into resources, okay? So there's back and forth there.
It won't be in both though? It'll be in both,
yeah,
or only in one?
It'll be both.
Let's say you pop that over to resources, it still stays under that course
here
as well?
Yes.
Oh, very
It's
nice.
not moving it. It's not moving it away. It's just saving it over there. Yeah.
Then I just want to add something too as the aside. You notice that when you set up the assignments, you do have due dates. The due date's really important to populate to the calendar. You could have a due date time, so maybe 3 o'clock or whatever. It defaults at 11:59 p.m. You also saw there's an ability whether or not you want to accept digital submissions or submissions online. And the publish. When you publish and you grade, if you turn around and unpublish it, it disappears from the gradebook. So once you publish it and graded an assignment in a course, don't unpublish it. Otherwise, it disappears on that student. Okay? So that's just something, it was a line on the gradebook setup of the grading, and I just wanted to put that out there as well. So once it's there, it's there. Don't pull it back. Otherwise, that can get some problems for you too.
A couple other options here. Let's say I built this in here. I built my course, and I have, these are my units, for example. Under options, I can save an entire course. I can save the entire course and its content into my resources. Okay? So what I'm going to do today before you guys leave, I actually did this because I want you guys to have these resources without having to go back into this course. So I'm going to save all of this into my resources, and then I'm going to give that resources to you guys so you can add it to your resources. Okay? Again, once you save it to resources, easily shareable. Student completion. This is a little more advanced. This is about if you wanted to create a self-pace unit or self-pace. So let's say that I publish everything here. I don't want my students to see Unit 2 until we're done with Unit 1. So I can set triggers on my assignments. Student cannot complete the assignment until they've at least viewed these resources. Student cannot continue to next unit until they score a certain percentage on prior assessment. So those options are available in student completion. So just be aware of that as well. One thing that we're not sure of is when you do student completion, you cannot yet set due dates. So because we can't set due dates with student completion, they're not going to show in calendar. We're in discussion with Schoology to fix that, right? So just to know, student completion is something to go around with.
And then also, did you mention, Travis, about like the green line that would appear? You can kind of really pinpoint where you want to add something if you'd like to. So if you're really a super organized person, you can thread in exactly where you want to add that assignment, or you can drag them around too, if that's your style.
Yeah. Once you're on this page here, on the content in your actual page, you can drag everything around like you would in Google Drive. And like Matt was saying, you just, if you want to add something there, there's the green line, you click there and add it there.
If you click the plus sign, it'll give you a choice of all those things without having to go to the very top and lose your spot.
One of the things that will happen is when you add content to the actual course here, it all goes to the bottom, right? So it's really important to use the drag and drop features and maybe make stuff at the top if you want it at the top.
So if you wanted account set up at the top, you could just drag.
Yeah. You can just drag it up there.
Okay.
And then another thing too, just as far as mindset and approach, a question that came up yesterday. This is a tool, and this tool is designed to help you improve workflow, communication, everything else like that. There might be times where something like Schoology isn't appropriate for something that you're using. Don't feel like you have to use it just because it's there. Use it because it's going to help you with you, it's going to help you with your students, and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So if you just want to do something in Infinite Campus and record it in Infinite Campus because that's what you do, then that's fine. So don't feel compelled to try to force it in just because. And also, as you're building things up, just start small. You know, you're going to find that things work certain ways. You're going to find that what you like as an idea right now on August 8th probably isn't that great on October 12th. And you're going to need a couple of iterations and times to go through. So don't overbuild yourself. Build as you're going right now. See what you like. Find out your style and what works, and then build off of that. So use this as an investment here to build that up, and then think about the bigger issues from there too. Because that's frustration. You start overbuilding, it doesn't work right, and you build it down and rebuild it. And, just invest the time and long haul for this.
So the last thing I'd like to show you, in addition to that, is this view course as. There was a handful of questions of, I'm creating this assignment, I'm creating this assessment. What the heck is it going to look like for a student before I actually publish this, right? So one of the things you can do is, if you go to course options, now you're not going to be able to see it in my course because I'm the admin. If you go to one of your courses, and may want to do it right now, open up one of your courses, course options, view course as. I can view the course as any student. So Natalie was here yesterday. So this is what it looks like for her. A lot of things are similar. I can tell what's happening here. This is the setup that she sees when she goes here, right? So I can vet my organization, come in, really put yourself in the shoes of a student and say, am I presenting this content or is everything in the right order that I wanted to? Okay, so just like you would check anything you do, it's a nice way to go and to do that. It's not real time, but it's there. Now to switch back, this is how your course looks according to her. Use this tool to see how your course appears to each member. Go ahead and go back to course, and then you're back into your teacher mode to exit.
I'd like to see you on back that too. After lunch, we're going to talk about the grading. A frustration that people had yesterday was, okay, look, I have my roster, so I see my students from A to Z. I created an assignment, but now I'm not seeing it in the grade book, and so I can't really see how to grade it. The best way that we can reckon it would be, I can go to Infinite Campus right now, and I can see my course load, I can see my roster, but can I take attendance on my class today? Why not? It's not active yet, okay? So when you're looking at the gradebook this afternoon and making those assignments, you might have a frustration in that you can't quite do the things I'm doing because I'm in a sandbox calendar that doesn't exist with people in the room. You're still kind of in that theoretical until the clock switches over next week. So just keep that in mind too as you're looking, but the student preview can give you an idea of what assignment could look like for a student.
Great. That's it for assignments and assessments and discussions. We've got a couple minutes till lunch. Yeah? So dive deep in 2 minutes, right? Go for it. Before lunch. We're going to break for lunch from 12 to 1. Okay? So if you want to stay here, we'll have locked up, I'm sure. Is anybody staying for lunch? Are people going to stay here? There'll be people here. Feel free to leave your items here. Okay? And then we'll resume at 1 o'clock. All right?